Okay, so yesterday what we were seeing on this amazing mart view, when we joined all of it, right? There was some problem. We were not getting the values as expected. We were getting like very highly inflated, very high, inflated values, which is not right. Because in join it is not possible because the granularity is not same compared to these two tables. This is not in the same granularity. Here it is at an order id, order date at that level, but here when I come here it is at a category and month year level, so I cannot directly join. I need to do something before I join. So in Tableau, when the data is not at the same granularity, we used to use blending before relationship came. Okay, before relationship came, we used to use blending. We will first see blending, how the same problem can be solved, this kind of problem can be solved. Also we will also see how we can solve the same problem by using a relationship. And what you also can do, you can try to do the same problem in SQL. Okay, try to do the same thing in SQL, and it is possible. You should be able to do it. Okay, okay, that is for you to do. Now I will show you how the blending works. So we understood how join works. Join first, it joins, then the aggregation happens. But yesterday I was trying to explain, in blending, first the aggregation happens, then they are combined at the key joining key level. So in this, the joining key is basically between these two tables, which one is category and one is month of order date. So I was showing a small example. There is a table called actual and target, right? When we joined this, there was a problem because we saw this 800 for A, city A is coming 2400 because it has three uh, values here in the actual. Because how it is happening, if I put it here, right, it used to join, right? So if I just put an arrow, so this city A is joining with this city, right? Again, this A is joining with this A. And one more time. This. So that is the whole reason why we were seeing why we were seeing these 800, because how it will look, if you think, right, it will look like this. Isn't it? It will look like this when you join, right? That's why we were getting the visitor 2400, which is not correct. Up to this part is clear. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is how what happens when you do a join. But when we do a blending, how it will work. So this is already so basically they will be aggregated first at the joining key level. If I have to join these two tables, the common field is what? City, right? So they will be first aggregated at a city level. So this will remain as it is in blending, and this one will get aggregated at a city level, because here there is no aggregation will happen because it is already at a unique level of city. So nothing will happen, no change. If there is something repeated value, so that would have happened. But here this table, it will now get aggregated. So how much it is coming? A 700, B 150, and 250 400. C is only 250, and D is 300. So in blending, this will be the output. In join, it will be joined first then aggregated. That's why these values will come. But here in blending they will aggregate it first, then they will be joined. So when they are joined already it is at a city level, already at a unique level, so you will not see the repetition of values or inflation of values. So this is how it works. Now we will do the same thing in Tableau and see how it works. Okay. Now yesterday what we did is we just joined these two tables because I know they are at the right granularity, so we have joined them at the order ID level. If I go here, come up. List of orders is joined with order breakdown at an order ID level, which is absolutely correct. Now I need to blend this. I need to blend this data with the target table, which is my sales target. How will I do it? So it will not like you will drag and drop here, because if you drag and drop, it will either create a relationship or a join based on where you are dragging and dropping. If you are dragging and dropping here, it will create a relationship. But if you get into the logical, the physical layer, it will create a join. So we will not do that. For blending, you need to treat it as a separate data source. So I will try to bring that back again. Not that. I brought the wrong table. Excel. Now I'll bring in the sales target. Now this has become a source for me. The moment you drag and drop, then only it will act as a source for you. Now you see the sales target is there. Okay, now these are two tables. Now I need to blend. So for blending, I need to identify what are the keys. So you see automatically the category is coming here. You see there is a linking field, but this is not active right now. It will only get active the moment you click on this, and it will become orange. You see, it has become orange color, and also you see the orange tick is coming. So this is your primary data source and this is your secondary data source. So in blending, you can have only one primary data source and multiple secondary data sources. But is it still correct? Let's find out. So this is my target. Let me put it here. You see, sales target is kind of 621 600 621 600. So that is coming because I have only blended at the category level. So why it is happening? If I go to furniture, and I select only furniture, and if I add it, if you see this value, this is 621 600, right? So but this is happening because we have only considered a category as the blending field, but we haven't considered this month of order date, right? This is very important. So I will go to Tableau and I will tell Tableau that we have to edit that relationship however it is created. So to do that, what we can do here, I cannot do directly because Tableau looks for a common name. I can change the name. This, if I make it month, it will try to do it, but it will not be correct. So what I will do here is to get a better control how the things are done. For the date related fields, always go to this data. There is something called this edit blend relationship. Go to this. Now you see this is your primary source, which is basically joined between those two tables at order ID level. Now this is your secondary data source, and by default the automatic blending is happening on category. So I will go to custom so that I can do my own. I can bring in my own fields which are important. So I'll go to add. Now I need to. So if you look at this data, this is a month year level, but when you come to the actual data, this is the actual dates, right? So if I have to combine these two, what I need to do, who can like guess? This is a date level and this is at a month year level. What should I do? If you look at this, whenever I'm clicking, it is, if you look at this, what is happening? What is happening here? It is only the first date of each month. Right? Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the first date of each month, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I join here, it may not work properly because I have individual dates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, right? So I need to bring them at the same level. So in blending automatically, it gives me that flexibility. I'll go to order date, and let's say I'll click on month of order date, and here also I'll come and select month. Okay, that is fine. And then next I will do at a year level. Come to order date, year of order date, and here also from the secondary source I will create the year of order date. Say okay. Okay. Now you see my target for January 2011 in 10,000. Let me go and validate. Can you see? February 10,100, March 10,300. Can you see that? Now it is working absolutely fine. Now this is for office supplies and this is for technologies. Okay, you see now there are two active fields. This is how the blending is happening. So what we understood is you should use blending only when the data is at a different granularity. Also, if it is coming from a different source, the join is not possible. These are the two scenarios. Let's say one is coming from SQL Server, and the another table is coming from your SharePoint. An example, and let's say the join is not possible between those two sources. In that case, you can go ahead with the blending, but always try to avoid blending because it may have some performance issues and there could be filtering issues. In interview, they will ask you what are the limitations of a blending. So you can say in blending there could be performance issues if the data is huge. That is one problem. And the second problem is filtering issues. Filtering, you cannot use any field in the filter. You can only use the fields that are used for blending the sources. Only those fields will work as a filter properly. Otherwise, it will not give you the desired result. So these are the two limitations. They will ask you when you use blending. We will use, again I'm repeating, we will use blending only when the data is coming from different sources and the join is not possible. And the second scenario is the data is not at the same granularity, different granularity. So the second problem can be solved by relationship. Okay, can be solved by relationship, which we will see after this. So let us work on this little bit. Now this is what we are doing. We are comparing sales versus target. Now this is fine. Let's say I will do this target. I'll make it a bar chart. Let's say let's make an area chart. Let me do a dual axis, synchronize axis, and move marks to back. Now I can see for each month and year, I can see what is my sales and what is my target, whether I'm meeting my target or not. But still, if I want to make it even more intuitive, let's say I want to find out like what is the difference between sales and target. Probably I'll create a calculated field and I will say sales versus target. I'll say sum of sales minus this sum of target, right? Sum of, let's say, I'll just say target. What happened? Let's see. This is called a target, right? The moment I put, you see, the moment I put target, I didn't use that sum before. You see that, right? See, I'll just write sales. It will work. It will be only sales minus, I'll say target. You see, automatically the sum is coming. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
You can see that, right? Automatically that sum is coming. The reason is, as I told, blending, the aggregation happens first, right? That's why that sum is coming the moment you drag and drop any field the measure from the secondary data source. It because it is aggregated first and then they are joined. That's the whole reason. And also it always gives you the prefix of the second source name so that you can easily identify that. Now let's say okay. Now this is a new field. I'll bring it here, sales versus target. This is what it is coming. So what I can do here is sales versus, I'll remove this and I'll use the same field into color. Now I can easily say, okay, what is happening here? If it is negative, then we haven't met the target. If it is positive, yes, we have. Now this is the blending, how we can solve this problem. Let's do the same problem using relationship. Okay. Any questions on blending? Try to do the same thing in SQL. Okay. So basically what I want to say is, what are the fields that I want to see in SQL is when you write the query, the final output will show me the category. The first column will be category. Then you will show me this month here. Okay. Then you will show me sales. Then you will show me target, and then will be another field which will be sales minus target. So these are the fields in your SQL query I would like to see. And this should be the output. For furniture, January 2011, 5477, target will be 10,000, and the difference is mine 4523. Okay, this is what I want to see in the final output. Right, I'll say duplicate as cross tab. Okay, I did a duplicate as cross tab. So this is some sort of result that I want to see. So I'll put category into rows, month of year date into again the rows, sales here, target here, then sales minus, let me make these also discrete. Sales minus target. This is the output I would like to see in your SQL. Clear? Any question, guys?
Sir, as you mentioned that we can solve this particular problem with the help of join also.
Relationship,
And
not join. Relationship.
Okay, and that blending has certain limitations also you have mentioned. So what is the specific use for that? If we can use the updated version like relationship and all. Any specific condition where we just have to use blending only?
So as I said, if it is coming from a different source, okay, where you cannot join or create a relationship, in that case you will have to use a blending. Okay, that is a specific use case.
So on that particular, if the data is coming from a different source, so we can't use the relationship.
Sometimes it is possible, sometimes it is not. Let's say SharePoint. Let's say you are joining SQL Server with some, let's say, I don't know, some of the sources here like OneDrive or MongoDB. Let's say that is not supported in Tableau. Between those two databases, you create a join or relation that is not supported in that case. So
okay, in the blending, every time it will work. If the data
blending will work. Yes, it will work. But yeah, again, you need to look into that. What is the volume of the data? What all things you need? If you see the volume is very, very high, don't opt for blending. Always ask your database DBA team if somehow you can bring those tables into the same database if it is possible. Okay, if not, try to aggregate those tables before joining. Ask them to create a reporting view, or aggregated view, or convince your business if the daily granularity is not needed, can we roll it up to a weekly or monthly level so that you will reduce the amount of data, then go ahead with the blending, right? Those things you need to make ensure.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, good question. Okay, now let's say we will do the same problem using a relationship. Let's say I'll open a new Tableau. So if you want to read more, always refer to Tableau's documentation. Okay, it is very detailed documentation. Lot of things are there. Let me uh, open. There are so many online resources also available. You can just search and you will get a lot of things. So this is when you see this, right? kb.tableau.com. So these are basically knowledge bases of Tableau. Okay, help.tableau multiple connection. So these are the things you should be falling back to when you need something. Okay, see, this is a good one we got. How to determine whether to join tables or blending? Answer. So this is for Tableau desktop, what we are doing. Okay, assess your data, consider the following: how many connections you have in your workbook, how the data in each source is related, the number of records you have in the data, the types of views you need to create. Okay, this is a long one. Okay. In most scenarios, traditional table joins are best choice, as they need tend to be most performant. As the work is done by the the work is done by the database rather than local machine. Generally, cross database joins are recommended. What we did yesterday, cross database joins over data blending, as there are fewer limitations. Tables from different data sources can usually be joined using cross database join, what we did yesterday. So that wherever it is possible, we'll go ahead with that. Tableau desktop cannot join published data sources. Okay, that's a different thing. Most extract only data sources. Okay. Okay. If the secondary data table has large amount of data, then data blending may be faster because data blending will aggregate first. Okay, so that aggregation is already happening. If you further want to aggregate, you can still. Table joins are better when tables have one-on-one relationship. Joins, right? Yesterday we saw that why that join is giving repeated values, because we had repeated that city value was repeated, that's why it didn't give us the right result. That is, there is only one record for each value in the linking field in each table. If the table have one to many to many relation, this creates a duplicated data after join. Okay, so that was the problem. Okay, data blending has several limitations due to design concept. For more information about common issues, okay, data blending can only be a left join. So basically what we saw here, if you see, this is your primary source and this is your secondary source, there can be multiple secondary data sources. So they are aggregated first, then these secondary data sources are supplied to the primary source. So it kind of acts as a left join only. Okay, they will ask you blending is what join. It acts as a left join. So there are some common issues. You would like to read this. So you see there are common issues with data blending. If you go here, then it will show you like what are the common issues that you may face, right? So you see they are talking about this linking icon, primary secondary connection are tables in the same source, so cannot blend so read about this. Okay, I will just put them in the chart window. Take it from there. Okay, read about it. In interview they will mostly ask you like what are the limitations and what happens. So there are so many things. Just read about it, you will get more understanding. These are very, very self-explanatory, and what all things might happen, where it happens, right? All these things are there. So here you should blend your data. There are several ways to combine data relationship, which we are going to see. Join you already know, because in SQL and all you've already covered that. Blend, okay, this is blend. So yeah, prior to version 2020.2, data blending was often the best way to handle data sources at different levels of detail. That's what I'm trying to highlight. The data granularity is different. That's what it says. This can now be combined with relationships, so which we are going to see right now. Relationships have fewer technical limitations than data blending, and are the recommended way of combining data when possible. Blending is only encouraged when it is the best method for your data or relationships are not available. That's what is the that is when you will go for the blending. When the relationships are not available, that means they are not supported. Okay, steps of blending data. Now it shows like how you should do it, what should be done, understand primary, secondary data sources, aggregations, all those things. You see, something is happening here. So please read about it. I'll also give you this. Okay, all right. So the primary data source is indicated with the blue check mark. Any secondary data sources have an orange check mark. Linking fields can be automatically determined based on the shared field names or the blend relationship, where we can go ahead and make changes using that custom option. Data blending behaves similar to a left join, which may result in missing data from secondary data source. Of course, in left join, what happens? Only everything from my left table and the common ones from the right table comes. So in that case, there would be scenarios that you might miss out on some data from the secondary data source. So that is a limitation. Asterisks may appear. So basically, this will appear when multiple dimension values of single, because the data blending takes aggregated results and combines them in the view. First aggregation happens and then they are combined. Any secondary data source can be used to, okay, that is fine. You need to read through it, guys. So aliasing, how it is done using data blending, a lot of information is given. Okay, there are some, see here they have specifically mentioned data blending. So there are some aggregations that may not work, like such as count, distinct, median. There are few things that will not happen. Blending data source cannot be published. Data from secondary data source must always be aggregated in calculation. Okay, so read about it. That will help you. Okay, now we will solve the same problem using relationship. Now what I will do here is I will connect to the same source, Amazing Mart EU, and let's see how it works. So what we will do here is, we know that these two tables, list of orders, order breakdown, they are at the same level of detail. Okay, same level of detail. The granularity is same. So I can still go ahead and do a join. List of order, double click on it. To join, always get into the physical layer. When you get into this box will open and here I will join. So this is the physical layer. Okay. and I'll close it. I know because there is a common field auto right, and which is basically the join field. Now this list of order, this logical layer, this logical table is basically based on two tables, which is the physical table list of orders and order breakdown. Okay, and it is joined. Now I need to do a relationship. Now let's say I'll bring it here. The moment I bring it here, you see an orange line is coming. So that is called a noodle. So what is happening when you click on it? If you want to um, if you want to edit that relationship, because if you look at this, I've clicked here, you see how this, if you want to read how relationship differs from join, you can click on this, it gives you more information, read those. So right now, default, it is the relationship is happening on category because that is the common field, but we can add more fields. Select a field. I know category is the only field, but I know that we need to go ahead, we need to bring in those month and year, all those things, right? List of orders, and this is sales target. In list of orders, I will use, so basically I cannot directly use the field. It is not possible because as I highlighted earlier, directly if you use, this is a date, right? And this is basically first date of each month. So you will miss out a lot of data. So only one day's data for each month you will get. Rest all the days you will miss out. So what you need to do here in this case, you understood, right? Why you will miss out? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now if I go to this, we need to create a relationship calculation, and here I will define the right granularity, how they should be, how this should be combined, how they should be joined. So what is that formula which will bring all the dates to the first date of each month? Let's say 12 January, I want to bring 1st January. What is that formula in Tableau? Which formula gives me the first date of each month if used on a date field? What is the formula in SQL? Yeah, date trunk in Tableau. Very good, Rahul. Okay, now let's say I'll go here and I will use that date trunk. Okay, date trunk, and my date part would be month. And my field is it is that order date. Okay, now this is, no matter whatever is the date, it will always get it to the first date of each month because that is how I'm truncating the date. Okay, now in the second field, I'll again go and create a relationship calculation. Here I may not use because it's already at that level. So I'll use a month of order date. Now you see something is happening. Can you read that error? What is that error says?
Type mismatch.
Yeah, what is the type mismatch? Can you identify by looking at those?
That column, sir, because it's the first time, but is here also the first day of every month.
Both are first day of every month. Look at those icons.
Calendar and time in calculation, and in that only calendar is there.
Yeah, so basically here it is date time in this calculation, but here it is only date. So this is a type mismatch. So the join is not possible. So what I will do is I'll go to this edit calculation. I'll wrap it in a date. Say okay. Now both are at the same level and my join is happening. Now, if you click on this, you will see the data for this. If you click on this, you will see the data on this. If you compare this with a join, you see, if I click on this, I can see the data only. I created a join between these two tables, right? I'm seeing only that. And if you click on this, it is only showing data for the sales target. I have only these values and I'm showing that. So this is how a relationship is different than a join. Your join gives you one single result table, but in relationship, entities are separate. They are only related. They are not joined. That's a big difference. Okay. Now this is how the relationship can be much faster compared to a join, because it doesn't explode the data, right? It keeps everything separately, and the moment you use any field and you drag and drop based on that only, that is used. Now I'll go to sheet, and now our relationship is complete. I will now build the visuals. I'll drag and drop, show filter, say okay, filter, there's furniture, month of birth date. Similarly, I'll drag and drop sales, and there is target. And let's say in sales, I'll make it bar, and target, I will make it area chart. Now, already it is giving me right result, right? If you do a dual axis, it is absolutely fine. Synchronize axis, I move marks to back. You see it is already 5477, 10,000. Then you can use the other fields, whatever calculations that I have done. Let's say sales versus target. So easily we did this. So sum of sales minus sum of target. Say okay. And I'll put it here. Chart. And I'll put again sales versus target into colors. Okay. So easily, so quickly we build that compared to a data blending. Okay. So that is what I was trying to highlight. If we given a chance, always opt for joins or relationship compared to a blending, and read about the blending issues and all those things. Now this is what we have created already. Now let me open something, and I will show you. Yeah, so relationship versus join versus blending. So let me open this. Okay, so there is a table I have created where you can see what is a relationship, what is a join, what is a blending, and what is the difference. Relationship maintains separate logical tables resulting in a default join. As I was just telling that each entity is separate, they are not joined. Join basically creates a single table. If there are 10 tables and you join, the final table will be one based on the whatever fields that you use to create a join. Using that, it will give you one final table. So which may be not performance good. From performance point of view, it may not be good. Blending a left join in the context of the worksheet. Okay. Relationship when you want to combine data from different level of detail, exactly the same problem we did. The sales target was at a different level of detail. Join use when you want to add more columns of data across the same row structure. Okay. Think of the first two tables where we had order date, order ID, and we wanted to bring in category and all those things. It's on the same row structure, basically, same granularity. So we use that. Blend use when combining data from different level of details, which you can accomplish more powerfully with a relationship. That's what they call out. So let's try to build a relationship like this. Okay. So this is a data model. Okay. So I have a data set called bookshops. Let me open that bookshop and I will ask you to do that entire data model. And there are some questions that you need to answer once you create that data model. So here there are so many sheets in this. I have book, which has book ID, title, author ID, and there is author, which is basically author ID, author's first name, last name, what is the birth date, country of residence, how many hours of writing per day. What is info? Basically, it has like book ID 1, book ID 2, something like that. Award, what awards each book would have received and which year they won. How many checkouts have been done for each book ID, which is that month, number of checkouts. Edition, basically what is that edition, which book ID, what is the format, publication date, how many pages, what is the price of that book, print run size. Publisher, what are the different publishing houses and which country, when they are established. Ratings for each book ID, what are the ratings, and who is the reviewer and how many review, basically review ID. Then series, then the sales information, like what are the sales date, which ISBN it is, and what are the order ID, item ID. So there are 3 or 4 quarters of sales information available: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Now what we need to do here is we need to follow this schema diagram to create that data model. So if you look at this data in this first book and info, okay, book and info, how they are. So what is this? It's a join or a relationship? Can you look at the icon and tell me?
Join.
It's a
Join.
join. And what are the fields for the join?
Book ID.
Book ID.
Book ID.
Book ID in book, but from info it is book ID 1 plus book ID 2. Okay. Let me connect to that data. So we go to that Excel. Okay, now basically what is that? Book and info. Okay, so now this is my bookshop connection, and these are the different tables in that. So book, and since it is a join as per the schema diagram, I should get into the physical layer, book and info. Now it is joined on book ID from book and book ID 1 plus book ID 2 from info. So I need to create a join calculation. So it will be book ID 1 plus book ID 2. Basically, I'm just concatenating. All right. Now it has come up. Now if I close it, exactly this is what it is displayed here. Right. Now this result of book and info is related to addition on book ID. Now let me bring in addition. It is related on book ID. Okay. Now it is related to award on title. So I will bring here award. So it depends where you drop. It's important, right? So you need to know exactly which table should be used to relate this. So if you drop it at a different place, you might not get the right answer. So now it is joined with award on title. Award on title. Now checkouts on book ID. Let's say I'll bring out. So automatically it is taking the fields because it could find that common field. If it is not present, you need to go here and choose manually which is the right field. Okay. Now in this way, you need to complete this entire data model. Okay, the whole thing you need to complete. Once you complete, there are a few questions that needs answered. So okay, so there is little information about the data. Okay, so read through it, what it means basically. Now explore. These are the questions. After you done the reading, these are the questions. What books are most popular, the least popular? Is that based on sales, reviews, checkouts, or any other metric? who was the youngest debut author, who is the oldest. They have a birthday, right? Based on that. Do some publishing houses seem to specialize in any way? Look at the data. If they are publishing a certain type of books or any genre, probably that is the thing. What is the longest time between editions of the same book? So one book may have different editions, right? So check like one when it was last published and after that when it is published. So you need to find that out. Are there any seasonal trend of sales? What about checkouts? Are there any correlation between checkout, print run size, book review? So these are the different questions I want you to go through after you have built this data model. Okay, so that is a homework and you need to do that. Relationship requirements and assumptions. I will share this also, what you can just read through it. Okay, and these are like metrics, all those things. So these are basically available on the Tableau server. They are not possible on Tableau's desktop. So we do not have a server because that would need some, we need to set up a server and all those things. So I'm just giving you this to read. So this is how once you publish the data, right? This is how it looks. So here you see explore. Basically, after explore, whatever the comes like makeover Monday, let's say this is an example. So this is your project. And within that project, the dashboard name is Superstore. And within that dashboard name, forecast is a sheet. You can see there are different sheets available, right, on the top. And you see there is a forecast. Let me expand it if it is possible. Now you see that this dashboard Superstore had multiple dashboards in it. Okay, ship, shopping trend, day to ship, of month. So once you publish it, this is how on the server it will look like. On our local, how it looks, the dashboards, they look on the bottom, right? Let's say if you've created multiple dashboards, they will be at the bottom, dashboard 1, dashboard 2. When you publish to the server, they will be available on a server like this. The dashboard 1, dashboard 2, dashboard 3, like that. They will, user can click and they can see that. So this metric, what I'm talking about, it is one of the menu options on the server. When they click on any metric, they would be able to track it. Okay, read about it. I have mentioned all the details here. I will share this. All right. Okay, now let me show you a real-time dashboard that I had done when I was in Genpact. I hope it is here. Not here. I think it should be here. There are a few dashboards I had created there. And these dashboards I created when I was trying to, when I was always, I was in an exit mode. I was trying to leave that time. They asked me to create something because I was out of the project. So let me show you some of the things. It should be here. It's a folder called Genpact here. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Okay. What is the latest? Okay, let me open this. You can all see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, just wanted to give an idea how the real-time things may look like, and these scenarios may differ. Okay, so what happened here? So basically, in a let's say if you want to get to chance work in a data engineering team, so what happens? They run a lot of pipelines. Okay, so these pipelines are nothing but they are getting data from different sources and put them into the target tables. And on that, you as a data analyst then use those tables to create your reports or models or data visualizations, anything. So this report is identifying, like there are, let's say, hundreds of pipelines may run in a typical, if it's a complex data engineering environment, a lot of pipelines would run. So they want to identify, like there are different buckets, and as you can see the report like E1 and IPV, and under each report there are different applications, and each application would have different pipeline setup. So they want to see how it is happening, if they are meeting the schedules or not. So let's say there are different pipelines, right? Basically, when I say pipeline, these are different jobs that runs to get data. So a job started at, let's say, 8:56. Okay, and let's say the SLA for it is, let's say, 10 minutes. So basically, when we have built it, we decided that the job should complete within 10 minutes. But let's say some job didn't complete in 10 minutes, it took 20 minutes to load. So those are not meeting the SLAs. Okay, so this report, it identifies those information. So what is the application, what is the end time, and what is that SLA? So for each job there will be a daily SLA. Okay, so the end time is to 9:06, but the SLA was UC 7, so it took 2 hours more, so it didn't meet the SLA. So if I just want to see, okay, what are these, I can click on this. Once I click on this, it took me to the drill down page. Okay, from summary I went to the drill down page. Now I will be able to drill it further. Whatever you see, I have used set action here, nothing else. Set action that we have covered earlier. Based on that, when you click, automatically other values come up. So let's say I want to see what are these not met, which of the jobs they didn't met. So distribution layer, I'll just click on this. So it will expand, like what are all the different, let's say I'll click on E1. So when I click on E1, the distribution layer is E1 SFT, and in that there are different categories. And in that, out of these categories, I see only one. The first one, this is the feed name. It did not meet the SLA. So I'm okay because these have already met the SLA. So I'm not worried. So I will now click on this. So the moment I click on this, I see there are two feeds. Both both of them have not met the SLA. So these are probably I would reach out to the team who are looking into this, right? So let's say I will go to now IPV just to see like what is happening. Now in IPV there are all the three different category distribution layers. Let's say I want to say IPV derivative. Okay, if I expand it, okay, in the derivative there are so many things again. There are so many things that have met, not met, met, not met. All these things are there. End time you see there is null because it might still be running. This is the SLA. Let's say if I click on it, now it will tell me, okay, there are 3 jobs that are already completed, but 1 job that is not yet completed. So this is mostly by using sets and LODs, whatever I have done. If I get into the table level, the sheet level, so I can see there are so many fields I have used, and there are different calculations. Let's say this, what is that? This is consumer layer title. So if I look at the consumer layer title, what it is? Title. Consumer layer title. It is a calculated field. And if I go here and if I open it, now there is some calculation I have done. I can't even remember right now why I have done that. because it's long time. So basically I'm looking at if count distinct of distribution layer is 0, then give me something else. If it is greater than or equal to 1, then give me something like else, give me a plus symbol. So basically that plus is coming like that. Then there is something called distribution layer. So what is that? Distribution layer. So this is again a calculated field, you see. So basically it's a set. If there is a set has been created, if it is in this set, then give me some field, else give me something else, right? Like that. Basically I need to know, like, if I click on this, basically if I click on this, if that is clicked, then the set will get populated automatically in the set action, if you remember. If that is okay, then based on that, whatever value is part of the set now, give me the other drill down value. So that's how it has been built. Now the only thing here, the met SLA met, not met, right? Probably that is, this might be a little bit complex. Maybe I can't remember, but let me see. And these are like some fixed LODs and something I have written here. I can't remember, but I just wanted to show you like how things are, how things could be in a real time depending on the requirement. These are all based on requirement, and you should be also be able to build the logic. So there is no problem. Let me open something else, what I have done before. I can't remember. There was some survey tool I built. I hope this is the one. I think this is September. I think this is the one. Maybe consolidated score. This is survey or I can't remember. Let me open it. They're all real-time things I'm showing. Just that I had some copies in my system. Okay, so these are some of the things. Like if you click on it, it should take you. No, it is not taking. I don't know. Okay. So if I go to different dashboards, so it tells like what are the things, all those things. So maybe different dashboards I would have created that time. So landing page, MDM final version. I think these are the dashboards. So these are different radar charts I have created. I mean, see, these are things I explored and I have done at that time. The third version. So these are just, I wanted to give you some idea how things may look like, right, on the real-time scenario. Okay, so these are the navigation pages, landing page. We have done that, right, in the when I was showing the dashboard action filters, how you can go to one page to other. If I click on landing page, it will go to the landing page. Then you can come back. Second version, like that. You can traverse through like this version, all those things. Okay, so I would need one last final class. I'm just closing this. So today, this is the homework. Please do this. Okay, this data model thing. I will give you the data set and everything. Please do this. In the final class, I will tell you like how from a requirement point of view, how requirements come and where do you stand as a Tableau developer. Who are the teams you work with? Who are the different roles you will work with? Right. how a typical agile methodology works in a development environment. I will give you idea on that. Okay, so and also we will do a final dashboard. I don't think I have shared that, the final dashboard. I will share that with you. I will give you the workbook, also the data set. Please do it. Okay, please do it completely. Then we will see like whether you are able to do it or not. Financial consumer complaint. No, I don't get that. Let's say I'll go to any time here. I think there it is. Let me search it. Okay, May 2021. Okay, in May 2021. Okay, so there is something called Twitter data analysis. Let me open this. Okay, this is the dashboard that you need to create. Okay, and the data is basically it is social media data where we have like whenever you do a tweet, right, how many likes you get, how many people actually see the data, right, all those things. Like this is a CSV file and everything is in one row, so you need to separate it. Okay, you need to read it. Tweet ID, time, impression, all those things are there, right? And these are different things here. So if I, oops. So you need to separate all these things, right? So basically Twitter, you see tweet ID, time, impression, engagements, engagement rate, tweets, replies, likes, user profile, clicks, URL click, hashtag click. So these are the different field names here. Okay, you need to separate out, and there are data here. Let me do that. Delimited, and what is a delimited? Comma, right? Yeah, it's a CSV file, right? So finish. Now you have this tweet ID, time, impression, engagement, right? All these things are available. So based using this data, this report has been created. I'll give you this data, I'll give you this workbook, try to recreate this. Okay, so this is one sheet, this is another sheet, this is another sheet. So there are different sheets in each. Just how it has been arranged on the dashboard makes a whole lot of difference. Okay, here there is a parameters like based on that by impressions. If you want to see top 10 tweets by retweets, top 10 tweets by likes, right? So these are all the things you can see here. We are showing the tweet impression versus engagement. They on different dates, daily tweet engagement rate, right? Tweet volume engagement rate by hour, tweet volume by weekday, right? So these are the things you need to recreate. Okay, and here on top I have used a calendar. So if you look at this data, how I have created this calendar using the date fields, you would come to see. And based on that, this also acts as a filter for all the sheets, right? And Also, the color coding on the calendar shows me how many tweets have been done on each day. The color coding tells me that. Here there is a filter option. If you select any month, based on that, all the values will change. Okay, so these are the things. So these are the things you need to recreate. Any questions, guys? Hello, guys. Hope you are all alive.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so will have one more class, final class. Okay, and I will tell the time, maybe on Friday or Saturday. We'll figure out a time. That will be the last class, and please do all these things. A lot of things are there now on you. All right. Any other questions, guys, before we stop?
Sir, could you please share that amazing math Excel file?
Yes, I have said yesterday.
No, sir, we did not get it.
Tell Lohit that this is the name Amazing Mart EU. Okay, there will be a file. He probably that modified date is different.
Part 2, the file is there. In part
Sorry?
2, in part 2, the file is there. You have shared the two, Tableau files, no? Part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
Part
And
2
also-
package file is there.
Okay. Also, I've shared the file also separately. I've shared it already. So if it is not present, maybe that modified date is different, and he's picking up by the date. So it may not have shown. So tell him that Amazing Mart EU. That's the file name, and please share that. Okay. Just ping him and tell him
Okay, okay.
that file is there already. All right, guys. Then. Thank you. Bye bye.